Hi, so this is Matt. Welcome to the shop. So as I mentioned in the previous video, I've got the new mill on the way. Well, not new, it's a used mill, but new to me. And this is a big machine. I found out that it is actually a little bit bigger weight-wise than what I initially thought. I knew it was a Model 3, but when I looked up the weight specs, I realized I had been looking at the Model 2s for Cincinnati. There'd be the 207. This is the 307-14, which instead of being 5,500 pounds, it's ranges somewhere between 6,500 to 7,000 pounds. It varies a little bit depending on the features. I have a feeling this is going to be one of the heavier ones because of some of the overarm and this one has a particular attachment, or the right angle head on the overarm. Also has a spindle, a quill on the spindle, which most of the Cincinnatis don't have. So that's probably going to weigh a little bit more. So when I bought my lathe a year and a half ago, and I got that in here, I got that lifted off the trailer using this rig up here. I installed this steel beam. It attaches to the header that's inside the building. That header, I believe, is about 10 inches tall and 3 layers deep. So it was pretty sturdy to begin with, and I added the steel up there as an attachment point. And then obviously you've got the studs run down both sides. It should be double studs on each side. So, you know, it can hold a fair bit of weight, but I'm not going to put 3.5 tons on this. I don't think that steel beam is strong enough to hold 3.5 ton. It did fine with the lathe, but that's only about 1 ton. So what I'm doing now is I've bought these beams from a friend of mine. Yes, some of these are bent. This is just scraps. Well, some of it was scrap steel he had. Some of it was fairly new. It's in good condition. This middle beam, if you can see that, that one is in good condition all the way through. There's no bends in there. These are 6 inches by 4 inches I-beam construction. These are from like a warehouse building or something like that to actually construct a building, you know, a metal side building, all that. So that's what this is from. And when they tore it down, obviously, or it may even be from several buildings. I don't know the history of it all, but you know, obviously these got a bend in it, but there's good straight sections in here. I've got a good 6 feet on that one with no major bends in it, and the one on the back side here, that also I can get a good 6 feet out between the bend and that crump up there. Which even I could go past that if I needed to, because that's minor. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a gantry out of this. I'm not going to do it attached to the building. I'm going to do a freestanding gantry, something that I can take apart and put together, maybe move it around as needed. And I may even do it with sections on the upright poles so that so I can change the height from a tall unit that I'm going to use outdoors to unload the machine from the guy's trailer. That's going to be roughly 13 feet tall. And then I can break it down so I can actually bring it in the shop here and fit it within the doorway and the ceilings in here. And you know, I've got the fans and stuff, so I need to keep the height a little lower in here. But it would still allow me to move heavy objects around when I need to. Part of it would be actually bringing that machine all the way up, because that's going to go up here in the back of the shop here. So I got these, and I'm going to make 2 legs out of these units, the ones that are bent. I'm just going to cut those to 6 feet long. They'll make the bottom legs like a stabilizer. Just for an example, look at my press here. Let's say this is the upright for the support for the gantry, and this would be the stabilizing legs down here. So I'll use these. I'll make that. They'll be the 6-foot sections. The uprights here are going to be about 13 feet tall, but with a joiner in the middle. I'll do it in 2 sections, weld a plate in between there that bolts up together, so I can break it down and bring it down to a height that will work in this shop. I'm not sure exactly what height that's going to be. It depends on how much overhead I need for the winch that I'm going to use on it. And then this good steel beam that I have, the long one, that is about 13 feet 5 inches, somewhere in there. That will end up being the header across the top of the gantry on the top. Again, I'm just using the press as an example to kind of give the layout, because it is a similar kind of construction to what I want to do for the gantry. Just, 2 legs across the bottom here, and your uprights, and then a header across the top here. And of course everything's scaled up considerably from what this is. And this should easily be able to handle the 7,000 pounds that I am anticipating here. So then the next question is actually lifting it. So I bought this Badlands winch from Harbor Freight. Before I realized the size, I was looking at a smaller one, but realizing now that I'm anticipating about 7,000 pound. I got the 12,000 pound unit, and to make sure I have enough overhead, I've also got the tackle block, which will let me double line this, which will raise the supposed capacity of the system would be 24,000 pound, but obviously that's way more than what we're going to be lifting. But the whole idea is that I'm not working this winch at full capacity, because who knows if this thing really does 12,000 pounds it's rated for. It looks like it probably could. I haven't tested this yet, other than just reeling it in and out a little bit for a demo. I just did that a few minutes ago. I'm waiting for this battery to charge up enough to really give it a good test. But the thing does seem to be built pretty well, and I'm not going to do the review here because I am doing a separate video for a review on this winch. But anyways, that's what's going on. I'm going to be cutting this to size. Tomorrow I'm going to be picking up 2 more good beams like this long one that's in the middle, that's in good shape. There will be no bends in these, and they will make the 2 upright legs. And that'll be pretty much the bulk of the steel that I need. I'm going to get some plate from the steel supplier around here for where I do the joins, and maybe some gussets and stuff. But this takes care of the majority of it. Okay, so I'm up here at my friend's farm, and I'm grabbing the other 2 beams. This is one, and let me show you. I dragged these out all the way from down in there. I'm doing this by hand because I can't get the truck all the way down there. I got down to about where this beam is, and I almost got stuck, so I pulled back up, and I got to do this by hand. My truck's only 2-wheel drive, so if I had the 4-wheel drive running, it would be a different story. But I'm going to show you the other beam here, and how I'm getting these up here. It was just me. They are pretty heavy. I mean, I can lift them and sling them around the shop on the cement, but trying to drag them out of here is another story. So this is the other two that are here. One of them staying. I'm going to take this other one on the right here because it doesn't have a bunch of junk welded onto it. It'll be a little cleaner when I try and put this together. So we go back up there to the truck. Let's see if I can get a shot of how I do this. I'm using a web strap, one of my favorite tools all time. Best invention ever as far as I'm concerned. These things come in handy for so many things. There's so many ways to use them other than just strapping stuff down. So I don't have a better angle than this, but I think this will give you enough of a view to kind of see what I'm doing here. I got it hooked in the end here, and I just got a loop, and I put this around my waist. It just kind of pulls the end up a little bit, pull it towards me. Just lean back and go a couple inches at a time. But goes about 6 inches each time. Maybe more. I'm getting about a foot here, because I'm not going uphill anymore. So that's one.